Is your career path aligned with your soul's desire? Are you doing something that you enjoy doing every day? Are you listening still, although you're an adult, to what your parents told you when you were young? The wounds that were created, that when you're not good enough, that you cannot achieve your dreams, that dreams are for rich people, and that you should just get a stable, small job when your heart desires something a lot bigger. If this is the case for you, I have good news. You don't have to stay small because you're afraid, because you believed your parents or your community. You can create the career that you can see in your mind's eyes. What is it? Is it a career of service to others? Is it a career of sales, of financial growth? Are you educating young people? Are you a professor at a university? Whatever you want to do is within reach. Just see it in your mind's eyes, meditate on it, and keep rehearsing it. And you will wake up in that scene, the exact scene that you have seen in your meditation, in your dreams. What did your parents tell you you can be? Were they calling you names? Were they calling you stupid or an idiot? Did you suffer from a learning disorder when you were young and it's still affecting your life? When our parents lose their temper, which I can understand, I have been a parent myself of a very young child, then wounds get established in the child's soul. Try to remove them. Tell yourself that you're not what you were called, either by a teacher, a neighbor, or a parent. Try to create your own identity. Who are you truly? What do you want to become? And believe in your soul. We are all born for a particular reason. What is your reason? Why are you here? Do you need to help people? Do you want to create abundance for you, your family, and your community? Whatever it is that you truly want, you can manifest it. Just create a plan on a cognitive realm. Maybe write down a few steps and then keep rehearsing the dream of your future in your mind's eyes. Are you a people pleaser and you're sabotaging your career because of that? Has your mom told you that you have to become a doctor or a lawyer, or that you need to continue the family business, although you desperately want something else? You will be at your best in any job and any career you decide to follow when it will come from your heart. When your heart and your soul are aligned with what you're doing, then we produce miracles. So understand what your parents wanted or what a teacher or a grandmother wanted, but choose to follow your own heart, your soul's purpose. The responsibility to create abundance and through your job to touch other people's lives lies in you. Whatever your parents told you, your community told you, this is something that they wanted, but you will be of the most use to others and you will be aligned and happy with what you're doing every day when you're following your own heart's desire. So do that. Is your people pleasing behavior and your fear of conflict creating obstacles for you at work? Does it stop you from shining in the way that you want? About conflict. Conflict is part of human existence. There is no human behavior and human interaction without conflict. But we should not be scared of conflict. And this is why. Conflict that is produced in an appropriate and a respectful manner can actually lead us to the best possible solution. If we don't disagree, we won't know what is the next step, or we won't know what our colleague or our partner is struggling with. And once we understand it and we have the intention to resolve it and help out and create an even better professional or emotional relationship, then you can identify the steps that will please you and your partner. And that's how problem solving can bring a relationship or a career to the next level. What are the psychological tools that successful people are using to resolve problems? The main one is do not take it personally. If someone is upset with you at work or someone does not like your service, it doesn't mean there is something wrong with your service. It just means that that person is probably having a bad day or that person is misplacing anger towards you that came from his or her home. So, what do? They just free themselves from any blame. And then they look at the problem from a very cognitive perspective. The third thing that they do is that they know that a solution is always available. And the solution might be do not work with that client because the client is irrational or very challenging to work with. But the solution might be a practical one. If you get rid of all the emotions surrounding the fear of failing or being rejected, then your mind is clear and can bring together all the neurons and all the information that you have stored in your brain to create the best possible outcome and find an amazing solution. How can healing your childhood trauma lead to a better work life where you're satisfied and you feel that you're producing the results that you're capable of? Childhood trauma can also reflect our self esteem. We have been called names by our parents, or we have been told that we're bad at doing one thing or another, bad at math, or bad at communication, or terrible at resolving problems or finding solutions. Once you heal all these wounds that were ingrained in your heart and your mind as a young child, when you have no filters and no defenses because your parents are everything to you, they are your soul line and your lifeline, then free of all those wrong labels, you can actually allow the power of your heart and your mind to be combined and create the outcome that you want. It is very difficult to carry something very heavy, an item, when you keep telling yourself, I cannot do it, I cannot do it, it is impossible. How about changing everything that your parents told you, your community told you that you cannot do, to yes, I can if I want to? Decide what you want to do, free yourself from all those limitations that are actually not yours. Other people were limited and they told you that you are limited as well. And then create an abundant, satisfying, gratifying professional life that touches other people's lives in the most beautiful and helpful way. How do I help my clients overcome low self-esteem professionally through the anagenesis method? First, we use clinical mental health counseling. So I'm asking the right questions in order to identify what the trauma is and where the trauma is coming from. I'm helping my clients cognitively understand, cerebrally understand that this is not the trauma, that their parents told them they're limited because their parents themselves were limited. Or members of the community, potentially their teachers or other family members, also told them that there were certain things they could not do because they felt that there were things that were impossible for them. So once you see and realize that your trauma and your self-imposed limitations are not yours, it is easy to leave it on the side. The anagenesis method will take you through deep hypnotherapy and meditations and will help you come together with your inner child where a lot of this trauma is being held. And once you meet your inner child through this very invigorating and deep experience of hypnotherapy, then you heal your child yourself. And then you feel and you see this child getting incorporated in you, back into your body. And now you have a new mind and a new body, and you can work differently. When everything is renewed, you have a completely different perspective. And what hypnotherapy helps you do is that you experience it. You experience a different way of thinking and feeling. And whatever we experience, we'll learn deeply and forever. Then through shamanic journeys, we can go together and find your soul's true purpose. So when you bring your soul's true purpose into your profession, everything shifts and everything changes. And yes, it might be a little bit scary because you might need to make some difficult and scary changes. But once you have come together with your souls through purpose and you have felt in your core what you're destined to do, then all the obstacles that life brings you feel minuscule, unimportant, and they feel like the best curriculum to get you where you need to go. I embrace failure because failure will teach me the best steps to move forward. I truly recommend you do the same. Don't be scared of failure. Go for it. And then see, feel, identify the path to move you forward.